Welcome to the Wager Makers Podcast with Webb and Smitt.
Brick by brick, baby.
I'm freaking out, Webb.
I was told there'd be no man. Stupidity's going to be an asset. What a bunch of crybabies.
Hello, my name is Steve Smith, and this is Rob Weber. Say hey, Webb.
Hello. What's up, Smitt?
What's up, Webb? I'm Smitt, that's Webb, and we are the Wager Makers, and this is the Wager Maker Podcast. Thank you all for listening. Webb, I've been enjoying the hell out of some college hoops, getting into conference championship tournament time, brackets next week. NHL has been going crazy. Finally got done with that crap-ass NBA All-Star game.
Ridiculous.
I don't know how anybody could even watch that, but at least we're getting on to the season with that going again. So lots of good stuff going on in sports. Major League Baseball starting to get deep into training. And Webb, this is Wager Maker Podcast number 84.
84, Smitt. Time flies. I'm back in the garage. I'm nice to be out here. The weather's warming up a little bit here in Jersey, just a little bit. See, I got my hat on. I'm representing the boys here. 84. First thing that came to mind was Randy Moss. I'm sure no one else remembers. Cowboys should have drafted Randy Moss. He went to Florida State, got in some trouble, and he ended up at Marshall type thing. And he was smoking weed at whatever he was doing prior to the draft. So he fell. Cowboys took Greg Ellis instead of Randy Moss. I think Randy Moss fell to 15. Cowboys put Greg Ellis at number 9, who had a good career, but Randy Moss now he's on ESPN, CBS, every other channel doing his thing. Like he's like Snoop Dogg. Right. Snoop Dogg back in the day his pimp hand was strong. He was a Public Enemy #1. Now the dude's doing Pampers commercials with Martha Stewart. He's America's sweetheart. 15 years later. But anyways, just saying, Randy number 84 is Randy Moss.
Yep. Yeah, no doubt. Arguably one of the best wide receivers, not one of the best. I mean, you could make an argument for him being the best wide receiver to ever play the game. Man. Certainly, he's so dynamic. Would go up and get the ball super fast. Right. Would get the ball over any cornerback on a jump ball always. Super fast. Could take off on dudes. Could go deep. Could go over the middle. Do just everything. Just a game breaker when he was in the game. I remember he was on my fantasy team a lot too. So he was a big. I remember the one game I think he had it was against the Cowboys one time on. It was a Thanksgiving Day game, and he just caught a bunch of long, deep touchdowns, and big crazy day on Thanksgiving Day. It got me a lot of fantasy points there. But like you said, he's
crushed the Cowboys on Thanksgiving.
Like you said, one time he was, for a while he was known as kind of a problem guy or whatever. But now, like you say, he's the darling. He's on all the pregame shows, the postgame shows, all that kind of stuff. So even to the point of you got mossed. You got right. Right.
He has his own. It's crazy. How things change or whatever. But good for him. I mean, I know ill will. I wish the Cowboys would have drafted him. He was Beckham before Beckham. He could take that slant and take it, but better than Beckham. Like he ran routes. He went deep. He could take it, take it to the house on a slant. So we got to give up to 84.
I think you're insulting Randy Moss by bringing up Odell Beckham in his as a comparison, but
fair enough.
But I think you're giving Beckham too much fucking credit, if you ask me.
Yeah, no doubt.
But we can get into that later. Webb, I was all excited. I've been watching a lot of NHL, man, and I know I've talked before about how it was not something like really came up watching that much NHL and watching a lot of hockey. Right. And I was my whole big spiel this week was like, how is it hard to find these NHL games on TV? Occasionally there's one on NHL Network. Occasionally there's one on NBC Sportsnet. Other than that, it's kind of hard sometimes to find it. So I'm like even the other, like some nights I'm sitting there watching them on the phone. It's on the ESPN Plus on my phone and stuff like that. And then it comes out today. NHL and Disney, who's obviously ABC and ESPN and all that kind of stuff, has a new 7-year deal they just signed starting next year. So NHL will be out on, a little more mainstream, a little more out there, where easier to find, a little get to. Dude, this game is so. I mean, I'm not talking like I've never seen hockey games before. I'm just saying the gambling on the hockey, it's exciting, dude. It's exciting.
I'm gonna jump up on my soapbox here. And I've been telling you this shit for a decade, maybe. I was never the biggest regular season hockey gambler. I gambled on hockey every day now, but I've always gambled on playoff hockey. It's ridiculously fun. It's exciting as hell. I guess the thing, Smitt, here it's common because we got the Devils and the Rangers, so that's on either MSG or whatever. They're on, every night, so that's like commonplace here. So it's not as hard, I guess, to find a game, maybe not the game, but definitely there's hockey on all the time here. It's huge, and particularly it's just a little bit of a hotbed. Rangers are one of the original seven. Diehard. There's generations of Ranger fans right around here. But it's on there, and then you're going to see more and more now. I don't know if there's a couple games, maybe a month ago, where they played outside in Tahoe, and on NBC. So you'll see some games coming up now, starting on NBC, like Saturdays and Sundays at noon. So there'll be more for you. Don't worry.
Right. So I've been enjoying it too. And then all the games are tight. All the games are tight, and then they go to overtime, bro, and they go 3-on-3. They go 3-on-3 in OT. It's amazing.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Fun.
Good stuff. And then they play their 5 minutes, and then it goes to a shootout.
Yeah.
It's just excitement after excitement.
It's better. Like they're going to do what?
Right. First they go 3-on-3, and sometimes during the 3-on-3, it's all about possession. They'll skate backwards with the puck for 3 minutes to make sure they don't give up the puck. At least they can't lose. And they'll take it to the shootout. But the shootout, super exciting. And this goes on. I mean, seems like half the games go to overtime.
Yeah, that's so true. I took the words right out of my mouth. There's many games that go to OT.
Right. Great stuff. And just hot, fast-paced, action-packed.
Yep.
And so I wanted to bring up a little bit. They mentioned like the salary cap for the NFL is down to 182.5 million, which is down 8%.
Did they come out with that? I thought it was they were originally saying 175, and then they said 180. So I guess did they finally settle on 182?
Yeah, 182.5, which is down 8% from last year, I guess. Obviously with the no fans and less revenue and all that kind of stuff. And then from some things that I'm seeing in the NBA is having some of the same issues with sorry, I'm watching little guy. I got the Vegas game going on inside over here. I'm trying to find 1-1. So and then I've seen some of the things where some the ratings in the NBA have had a hard time and stuff like that. So and then here we go with the NHL is just obviously it's gaining momentum. It's one thing that's gaining momentum. And when you're starting to sign with Disney and ESPN and ABC, it's showing.
They're gonna pimp that shit out like no, it's gonna be everywhere. And kudos to we gave them. I mean they. I guess it's a year ago now. We were talking about, kudos to the NHL. They did their kind of bubble thing. They had Montreal and maybe there was another place in Canada. I said exactly how they did it, but they had their own type of bubble thing, and they got through their season just fine. So good for them. And I'm like I said, I'm just as big a fan as you are. It's exciting. It's good to bet on. They get a little crazy with the favorites a little bit. So laying 350s is a thing, but hey, it is what it is.
Easy to root for. Maybe because these guys aren't in the limelight quite as much as the others. Maybe you don't get some of the negative stories that you get for some of the other guys. Some of the complaining, some of the things, some of the statements guys say sometimes about doing other things. You never see these guys bad mouthing the money they're making or complaining and shit. And man, when you're watching this game, it's the most physical damn game out there.
I mean, it's a mini car accident.
Right. And I think maybe some of my excitement of it is just because we didn't play we played basketball, football, baseball, all that stuff growing up and everything. Hockey was something we played in the street some with the ball and running, but we never were like ice hockey dudes. We never went to the.
I can't. I've never been on ice skates in my life. No.
So I just have amazement for what they're doing to begin with and shit. And then when they put the shot on goal, it's like the goal's not that damn big, Webb. I know I'm sounding probably very rookie, not novice to this shit. But the dude is basically covering up the whole fucking goal, and they put it within an inch of the bar. Or they hit the bar. I mean, I'm pretty.
They'll go up corner. Yeah, they'll 5-hole somebody's
a 5-hole right through the legs, all that shit.
Yeah.
So I've been enjoying it. So anyway, but moving on.
Also been a quick story. Let me just tell you a quick story on that. When back in the day, my first job out of college was working for sports marketing company. So I had to go to every net and Nick games. And it was amazing to see how they would transform. Like say there'd be a hockey game. New Jersey Devils would play at 1:00 and there'd be a net game at 8:00 that night. So you got to actually transform the whole arena. They put almost the rink, and they put the parquet on top of that. But anyways, my point is, like, Scott Stevens was I don't know, I'm sure you don't know his name, but he was like he was one of the great. He's probably in the Devils Hall of Fame or Devils Wall of Fame, whatever it is. But this dude he was a regular Joe. Like, you could not tell him from me, from you, from anybody. You know, and that's, you know, he was probably making $3 million at that point 15 years ago. It was just like, you know, out there busting their ass, and it's just how normal and regular these guys were. It just always struck me, you know, even back then.
Yeah, crazy. So I want to put out some kudos to the NHL. I love loving the game, loving these games. It helps a little bit because we've been on the plus side of a few of these. Maybe if we were getting our ass kicked, we would have been like, oh man, this fucking hockey sucks. But we've been on the plus side of a few of these overtime games, especially. And but I've been enjoying those, and kudos to that. And I was really going to come on today and be like, why are these not on out there more? You know, like you say, I guess a lot of them are in their local markets, just like when we grew up. You'd have the Mets on Channel 9 and the Yankees on Channel 11. So I guess, but down here, unless it's a national televised game, we don't get it. So. But
it's
anyway,
thing here, and it's big in Philly too. When I worked in Philly, the Flyers were on 17, I think it was PHL. And I mean, I would assume in most markets, I'm sure in Canada, it's not hard to find a hockey game.
All right. True. All right, so moving on, Webb, we can. I just wanted to put that out, and then we came on today and found out they got a big contract. So I was like, good for them. Hope they can keep it rolling. We'll be getting into college hoops in a minute, but big story in the NFL, Webb, close to home for you. Your boy Dak Prescott got the 4-year, $160 million, I think, dollar contract,
something like that. Yeah, I mean, for me, like, whatever, Nick texted me. I was talking about it actually with a Giant fan today on my boss, a Giants fan, playing golf today. I mean, first and foremost, I'm glad it's done. I'm tired of hearing about it, reading about it, having people talk about it. Every asshole's got an opinion about it. I don't want to hear about it. Now, is it overpaid? Yeah, of course. They're all overpaid. Any professional athlete is overpaid. So let's forget that. He was going to get, if the Cowboys didn't give him this money, the Colts, the Jaguars, whoever, the next team down the line was going to give him the same, if not more. We're going to hear the Cowboys, they played their hand. They probably misplayed it. Jerry Jones rolled the dice a little bit. He tried to sneak one past the goal to use a high, but it didn't work out. He was going to pay the dude eventually. Maybe he lost $20 million. Maybe he could have saved $20 million here or there, but that is not what it is. The point is, every team is a dude make dollars. And you have to have Sam Darnold. If they don't sign a quarterback or trade or whatever they're going to do, Sam Darnold's going to make it a year from now in episode 164 or whatever it is. Sam Darnold's going to be making $150 million. So just stop. You need a quarterback. You need a quarterback that's good. Prescott's proved he can win games. The team loves him. He's a rock star in the community. So I don't know what to say. Am I happy about it? I'm glad it's done. But, you know, I'm already thinking, geez, it's only a 4-year deal. In actuality, Smitt, I think it's a 6-year deal, but the 2 years is voided. So that's just some bullshit in the NFL where all that money gets spread out over 6 years instead of 4.
Right.
Whatever. In 3 years, they're going to be in the same kind of boat. Is Dak Prescott going to sign and get enough? But I'm glad he's on the team. I don't dislike him. I don't like him. I want someone who, you know, there's going to be a quarterback on my team, you know, one way or the other. The dude is going to be making $150 million.
Yep, like you said, we talk about the money these guys make. We talk about the money these guys make a lot, but don't get us wrong. We're all about the dudes. Get your money. You deserve. Right. You get paid. The only time we have issues is when dudes are getting paid and they're being bitches about shit.
Right.
Dak Prescott has never been.
Right.
Yeah, Dak Prescott has never shown to be that way. Doesn't seem to be that dude. He's a quality starter quarterback in the NFL. You can make a case that he's whether you say he's in the top 5, when you put you know, age in there, or top 10, whatever it is. But like you say, you're just happy to have you got your dude that you can hang your hat on. You know you're going to hang your hat on. You know he's going to be there. Obviously, hard worker. The team likes him. All that kind of stuff. And kudos to him. He kind of rolled the dice a little bit this year. I think he left some money on the table and walked away from it. And they had a franchise tag on for this past year, and he was able to I think he probably got more than what he was offered earlier on.
Something million. A little bit. I mean, I saw something. I'm on the Cowboys website all the time. It kind of worked out almost to the same thing. I mean, he probably made a. I mean, it's funny to call. So he might have made money when you add it all up, but the Cowboys fans, the Cowboys are paying Carson more. So when I look at it, it's very good.
Yep. So, and like you say, it's just good to know your guys there. It's always a pain in the ass when the whole story about your team every year is whether the quarterback's going to be there or not be there or all that kind of stuff. So, good for him. Good on them. That's it. Speaking of money, Webb, I don't know what the fuck we're doing wrong. Skip Bayless, I don't know, dude that talks shit all day long. He signed a contract for $32 million the other day, Webb. $32 million.
I don't understand where this money comes from. Like, you see, I mean, even I see it with Netflix. Like, this guy got, like, I don't know, some comedian from Netflix gets $25 million. I mean, Netflix is like $14 a month. I mean, everybody has it, but they're paying everybody this money. I don't understand how he generates that. I listen to this stuff just for the show, like as research. It's okay. He's been around the block. He was a reporter in Dallas for a long time, so he had some ins. He was a beat writer for the Dallas Cowboys, so he had ins when the Cowboys were in the 70s. I don't know how that parlays to now or even relates to now to translate. Like, the same shit we're doing. They go out here. They have maybe some different type of contacts, but they just talk shit. Right. I mean, that's all they do. I listened to Channel 204. That used to be VSIN, VSIN for the Vegas sports. They got people on there now, Smitt. I text you and Nick. I swear to God, it's got to be just they can't be getting paid. There's no way. It's this show's better. Right.
Well, you got. Yeah, it boggles me sometimes the money that's out there for like you say, all they're doing is talking shit.
And what? Yeah, I mean, at least you want to say that the football contract, Dak Prescott and Pat Mahomes, there's a basketball, a TV contract that's generating that money. ESPN's giving them billion. Like on Fox Sports, there's no way it can generate $32 million. The math is not there.
Right. And speaking of guys that just talk dumbass shit. So sometimes I think guys say shit on these radio shows and stuff just to get a rise out of people because it's the only way they can become relevant or get people to talk about it. So speaking of that, I'm going to talk about Chris Sims the other day. Comes out and says Zach Wilson. So in case you don't know, he's the quarterback from BYU. Me and Webb are pretty high on him. We've been liking him all year. The dude can throw. He runs a little bit. He's kind of a cocky little dude when he's playing. He can do seems like he can do it all.
He's like a gunslinger type dude. Yeah.
For BYU, he plays Colorado State and shit.
Right.
And so we've been on them all year. They play Utah State and Colorado State and Nevada and Wyoming and shit. So we've been on them like this dude's gonna be good, and then he's gonna be a good pro and everything. Chris Sims comes out and says he's the number one. He should be the number one pick over the dude in Clemson. Over Fields, over the dude in Clemson. Yeah, Trevor Lawrence. All that basically compares his arm strength to like Mahomes and Rodgers, all this other stuff, man. But I think he just says shit just because it's the only way that people will share his comments, and maybe that's what we should do sometime.
You and I, this is listen, he's a genius because this is evidence one or exhibit A. We would never talk about him except I think he fell asleep with a joint in his hand in New York City a while, like 10 years ago, in his Mercedes. Like, he's been irrelevant since he was like a highly touted recruit going to Tennessee. So this is the only way that his name is going to be out there. Say that this dude is better than Trevor Lawrence coming draft. You see what the dude Dan Orlovsky, whatever his on ESPN says. Let me rephrase my words here. He says ridiculous offhand shit. All that. That's just so like. Are you serious? I know you're lying. You can't. You're hardly saying it with a straight face. Right. So it's bullshit. And listen, I cannot stand Stephen A. Smith. The only reason you're going to see him at the top of the Twitter feed, at the top of your feed of ESPN app, is when he mentions the fucking Dallas Cowboys. That's the only time. The only time. All he speaks loud and says the Cowboys suck, and that generates headlines. That's it.
I say the Cowboys suck. Nobody gives a shit.
And, no, you ain't at the top. Right.
Oh shit! So I mean, some of these guys are like I told you the one time the dudes were still talking about like revenge games and shit like this, talking about who to pick when. I'm like, dude, come on, man, with this crazy, they still crazy shit. But anyway, we got college hoops coming up.
Stop saying that.
Go ahead. What?
They're just trying to fill dead state. They're on camera. They have to say something, regardless of how stupid.
The more outrageous you say, that's the only time somebody. If you say total outrageous shit, that's the only time you get some.
Right. No publicity is or bad. No, whatever. No publicity is bad publicity. Whatever this phrase is.
So Webb, let me ask you this. I know we talked about NHL doing good and the NFL was down a little bit. Do you watch? I know probably know the answer to this. Do you give any even half an eye to? I should have done it just for research purposes to the NBA All-Star game.
I think I might have watched the NBA All-Star game like when Michael played because I knew it was going to be a game. You know, Bird and Michael would play Magic. There would really be, since they took it personal, like this is a kind of a showcase where, you know, I could play with some dudes that are real good against some other dudes that are real good. Where they didn't make our own team, they actually played defense. So the answer is in the past, what is that, 20? No, I wouldn't think about it.
Right. So I didn't watch it. I didn't care. Like I knew what I'd be seeing. And then across the bottom of the thing when I'm watching the other games, I forget what hockey or college hoops game was. Halftime score 100-80 at the half. At the half. So people want. I mean, I don't know who watches it. If it's just kids, I don't know. If it's kind of people used to go to the park and they'd be hot dogging the whole time, and you're play ball, and you like, I don't know. Or when they had that kind of basketball where the dude was like emceeing it the whole time for a while. What was that when they were just dunking?
Oh, yeah, when the celebrities. Yeah. Oh yeah. Like with the Ice-T's league. Yeah. Ice-T had a league. You could shoot like from different spots on the floor. What 5 points here? There's a 6-pointer from half court.
At least Ice-T's league was like a 3-on-3 league. Right. This is what I'm talking about. What the hell? And they had the dude do. It was like doing all kinds of. I don't know what the fuck, but it wasn't basketball. And then, but anyway, but just the NBA.
Let me stop you. Let me stop you. I'm just doing some math in my head. There's how many? So a half of basketball is what? 48 minutes? No, 24 minutes.
Yeah.
Where a game is. So how many points is that a minute? Like that is an incredible amount of efficiency on the offensive end. 180 points in 24 minutes. I know a basket is worth 2, but that is was there any like what did they score and they run, they sprint and then lay it in and then they run or they just shoot it up?
I'm guessing they probably don't do that. I'm guessing a couple of guys hang at half court. A couple of guys hang at one end, then a couple of guys hang at the other, and they just do long passes and alley-oops. That's what I'm guessing. Without saying,
right, if you catch and shoot straight, and the other guy either misses or makes, and the other dude does it. Yeah.
Like when you go to the park and it's the end of a long day, you had 3 or 4 runs already, and the last game just kind of sloppy, whereas dudes don't make it all the way up and back to court, and you just throw it up.
Yeah, everything is
it's like 2-on-2 on that end and 2-on-2 on this end.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, so you can kind of stop on the other end. You kind of your battery dies on. I'll go here, between here and half court. Throw me the ball and I'll throw it to this dude.
Unbelievable. And then so as if things in the NBA didn't get worse, Blake Griffin now Webb signs to the Nets. I know he's kind of older, damaged goods at this point, but it just seems like just piling on more things to get annoyed by the NBA with.
But it is like why are there teams? Why is there a draft? Let's just ask dudes who they want to play with, how much money they want to make, and then we'll take it from there.
Right.
You know, I mean, that's all they're like. Kyrie wanted to play with KD, and then that James Harden wants to play. He got tired of the guys he picked to play with, and then DeAndre Jordan wasn't good enough when he picked his team to play with. So now he'll he'll take some scraps. And the same thing with Blake Griffin. Blake Griffin was supposed to play with DeAndre Jordan 3 years ago with Lob City or whatever they called the Clippers. The last time the Clippers were supposed to be good. So it's just, yeah, it's annoying. It's the NBA, man. I tell you, it's again. I don't want to be the old guy, the old crotchety old guy, but to me, there's a lot of other good, honest, hard fighting shit out there. The NBA is always going to be the king, but gambling in a hockey is incredible, and and then college hoops is college hoops, man. Once we that's not going to change.
Yeah, because college hoops has been awesome, and it's just going to get better.
It seems
now.
like the G League is looking like a non-starter. They had a couple guys that didn't want to go to college, and the G League it's either dudes. It looks like a complete failure. So that's only going to strengthen college hoops, anyways.
Once they stop letting dudes call each other coronavirus in the G League, it all went down. It all went down. So and then we talk about the rest.
That's when you know it was the Wild West. It was once they did all gloves were off when they were calling Asian players coronavirus. He was lucky he didn't get called SARS or something.
We should stop before we take this any further and get it. We're gonna get ourselves in trouble. Maybe they'll talk about us like Chris Sims if we say some bad enough.
Hey, that's right. We're protesting us. People being
yeah, please boycott us. Do us a favor. Get a big, huge boycott going. But anyway,
get a whole social.
Right. Get it all going. Tell everybody about how bad we are. We better.
Yeah. Watch the phone start ringing.
Just to add insult to injury here, Webb, with the NBA, I'm going to add one more little dig to the NBA. Kawhi comes out the other day and announces that he wants to be on the Olympic team. The Olympics start just a few days after the finals start in the NBA. And what happened to rest? I thought this man needs his rest.
Well, I mean, what's the Olympics? We got to take a look at the Olympic schedule. I'm sure, but I do believe early on they play back to back to back. So I don't know how he can humanly handle such a thing to play 3 basketball games against or Lithuania. Now Lithuania's probably good, or Brazil. Or I don't know, Angola. I don't know. I don't know how he could play 3 games against those dudes 3 nights in a row. That's a hell of a lot to ask for free.
Right. I don't know. I don't understand how you can take nights off of the NBA and then say how much you want to play.
It just God. What do you mean? It's again, like we said, we talked like when Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz was shocked at the dude. What do you mean you're not going to give me my number? What? Like Kawhi's like, what do you mean? I can't play. What do you mean? Of course I'm on the Olympics. If I say I'm on the Olympics, I'm on the Olympics.
Yeah.
I said I wanted to play with Paul George. I said I mean, come on.
Oh my God, I don't understand where these guys get this sometimes. Like I don't know, but whatever. Like I said, we're not trying to be the crotchety old guys every week. That was good last week, but we'll see how it turns out. But college hoops, Webb. We're getting into the conference tournaments here. We just for the record too. If you went on Sports Watch Monitor today, you would see that we were number 1 yesterday as all handicappers and number 1 over the last 7 days. You can get our picks on there, or you can go to our social media accounts and get our picks too, or just reach out to us if you listen to the show. Absolutely. Reach out to us, and we'll be happy to share some picks with you. Shared my picks with Scott Wheatley, so he feels like he's got to share his picks with me. He let me know definitely tomorrow. Oklahoma State plus 2.5.
I told you that last week.
I don't know. Scott moved to Oklahoma. I think he's getting like a man crush on these Oklahoma State dudes at this point or something. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I'm just saying, every day he's texting Oklahoma State. Like, listen, I think I like the team. I don't think they're. I think in fact I think West Virginia's probably going to get them back this week for what they did to him a week ago. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Well, he doesn't live in Norman. Where is Oklahoma State? Oklahoma's in Norman. I forget where Oklahoma. Yeah. He must have moved right there.
He must be. I think he's going to school.
He might live on campus. He might have a dorm room.
Right. So he's adamant about the Oklahoma State thing. It's like, all right, dude.
He loves him. He loves Cunningham. Yeah. Number 1 pick. Ben He's a cowboy. Yeah.
All right. So anyway, so looks like Gonzaga won their conference tournament and beat BYU the other night. And actually,
somebody asked me this today. Let me stop you. How many years? Who is in that conference? Can you tell me another team in that conference?
Well, I'd say BYU, probably like Utah.
Are they in that?
Yeah, that was a conference
maybe
final.
St. Mary's.
Oh,
correct. Sure. Okay, right. So St. Mary's is probably the second best team
traditionally. Pepperdine,
right?
San Francisco, right. Maybe.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Pacific,
in other words, no.
So how many years in a row have they won this conference? 30 years? Could it be since we were in Myrtle Beach that time? Could it be that long?
Why not? And every year, and to the point where I heard a dude on the radio on the TV the other day say Gonzaga is America's team because everybody loves them every year. No, for 30 years ago, everybody liked them because they made I think they made it to the Sweet 16.
They were the underdogs.
Right. I never heard of them before.
Right. You wanted Goliath. You wanted the underdog, the Davy versus the Goliath or whatever.
Well,
no, they are now the big dog. They got one and out. They probably have the third amount of one and outs in the country. I would bet.
They are now the team that ruins people. I've seen him ruin people's brackets every year. Gonzaga every year.
Yeah,
because they're like, oh man, Gonzaga's good. They're 20-1 this year. They're undefeated. And they're still going to lose at some point.
Yeah, and this year hurt them because they didn't. They had there's no non-conference schedule, so all they did was beat up on those patsies in their fucking conference, and then I saw, I don't know, whatever the blurb said, it was this morning or yesterday morning, a much needed test. They won a game by 10 points. Like, right. How did they get to what they were actually losing the game? Is that what you're telling me?
They were
losing in the second half at one point.
They were losing. They were losing again. And laying 14, I believe. They were laying 14.
Right. So they almost covered.
Right.
Biggest team. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen when you're playing someone good in the 16 and you got to, this dude, what do you mean? They're not going to turn the ball over 4 times in a row right here?
Yep. I can tell you this. Once again, I will not be having them go all the way. I doubt I'll have them go to the Final Four. Maybe not. But if for the bracket guys out there, and so we want to mention that now. Next week, probably Monday or Tuesday night, if we can make that happen, we're going to be doing a bracket show, special bracket show. We're going to see if we can do it, technically, and do it live if we can. But if not, we're going to do a bracket show. But we got to do it. We got to do it on Monday or Tuesday because by Wednesday night it's going to be too late. Because the brackets will be starting on Thursday morning, so we got to get that out.
Yeah, well, why don't we? Might as well. We bet. Well, I think Selection Sunday is Sunday. We probably should do it Monday, Smitt, just to get it out in time, and that way everybody can, just give us max. I mean, Sunday night is probably too early. Just because we'd have to do it too late.
We'll do it Monday night.
I think Monday night has to be tonight. Yeah.
All right, and then don't forget we're coming out with an announcement on how to enter our pool, and all you'll have to do is get a couple people to subscribe, either to YouTube or some other place you can subscribe to us, and we'll have a money prize. I don't know how much it is going to be yet, but we'll see. So we
definitely got $44 to give it.
Right. So whoever that was that bought our picks today, those people, those people that are on our picks today on Sports Watch Monitor, we're trying, man. But it did. The good news, Webb, we had under in Vegas, and they went through the second period with no score, so it's 1-1 into the third.
We're looking. That's going to be a 2-1 final, 3-2 final. That's going to be a double winner there.
2-1 Vegas double winner would be.
We'll be fine. We're going to be fine. And this is and I mean, one thing I would say is you got to do. Let's give us today is what, Wednesday. Just stick with us a couple days, and you'll be good.
Yep. And we still could come out. Right now we're 1-2.
It's going to be a winning night tonight, but
we had 11 games on tap tonight. 11 games.
Yeah, we're looking about winning significant, not just couple dollars.
All right. So that was a big, just the big news. Keep track for next week. We're going to get all on that bracket pool. I know everybody watch the conference. This is how I always do it. I watch the conference tournaments at the end of the season. look at who's hot, who's not, and that helps me out in the brackets a lot. Webb, you got anything else you want to talk about tonight? This is kind of quickie.
No, I mean, I'm not sure. Let me, I just want to check my notes very quickly. I mean, what did Stephen A. Smith said? I mean, we mentioned him before. I know he said something
it was
stupid
another.
about
He kind of took a little swipe at. He said, with all due respect to LeBron, it was about. I just want to speaking of which, I got my got a little something today.
You got
tattoo.
I got my
Moderna.
I got my first one
going through my veins.
Moderna too.
Virus going through my veins here.
All right, you got the
so one shot down. But actually, I think Stephen A. came out and said, LeBron should be more vocal about people taking the vaccine. But to me, that's not LeBron. Ain't no. First of all, if you're waiting for LeBron to tell you whether or not to take the vaccine, let's look up to some different people. And I appreciate LeBron. Right. I think he does a lot of great communities. He's got his own schools. Does tons of stuff. But I mean, I'm not looking for him to give me doctor advice.
Right, to dictate my health. Right. Yes, he's got a platform. He takes full advantage of it. By all accounts, I don't know him. By all accounts, he's a benefit to any community he's been in. Blah blah blah. Tremendous basketball player. We've been over that stuff. But at the end of the day, he's not a fucking doctor. I mean, and who is he to tell me to get a fucking vaccine?
Right.
Yeah, it's not his responsibility. It's not his responsibility.
Speak out about everything else. Why not about this? Like, well, because he might not even know. Like, I wasn't all, like, I was, yeah, I'll probably get it, but I wasn't even like, man, I can't wait to get a fucking coronavirus.
Maybe he's busy. Maybe he's busy with the basketball season and has other things like to get completely educated on, before he goes out and tells literally the entire world to go fucking do it. You know what I mean? Like, are you fucking kidding me? Now he's a dick. Now LeBron's a dick because he didn't tell people to get vaccinated.
Yeah, that was
again just purely to get some fucking headlines.
Once again.
Right. No validity. Nothing. Anything towards the game, winning money, betting. Nothing. The dude should say, it's LeBron is beholden to tell people to get vaccinated.
Oh man, LeBron said go get vaccinated. Let's go. Right. And then what if this is fucked up? And then LeBron would be like, LeBron told me to get it.
And literally the next day, there's going to be a dude like, why is LeBron James telling people to get vaccinated? Is he a doctor?
Right. Oh God. So anyway, that was Stephen A's comment that I wanted to throw in there something, but that's it. We got good news this week. You can now listen to our podcast on Pandora. So I know I listen to a lot of people listen to music on Pandora, so we can now listen to it on Pandora. And like I said, we're watching these conference tournaments this week. We're going to come out with the brackets. We're going to have bracket. We'll each have our own bracket for next week, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, it's a big week. Smitt, last thing, I don't know if you saw your boy Bryson DeChambeau.
Winner.
You see he almost drove 50-yard green or something. He's had like 30 drives over 375 yards.
Right. There was one hole this weekend that was almost like completely over water, but nobody plays it that way. It's just along the water. You know what I mean? Right. He shot, which basically went over the directly, and everybody else doesn't even go over the water at all. They go like
not inconceivable. Right.
And even like he's hitting the ball, and after he hits it, he's getting like football player shit going on, like yeah, and people are going fucking nuts and shit. So it's been fun.
It's like the Adam Sandler movie. Yeah, maybe we should stop talking shit on him. I mean, I still think he's a douche, but I still think the guy's dick. He's smashed.
He won. He won. Yeah. So I mean, that's what you're there for. So.
Right, and you that now talk shit. Now you can say something. Don't yell at the ball guy or the.
Don't yell at the referee when he tells you your ball's on the other side of the fence.
Right,
when you're stepping in ants. Like go fucking hit the ball in the fairway and make shots. That's when you talk shit.
The ants. You can't make it up.
So thank you, John. Talking music. Thank you, C. Reilly and Little Saint the Goat. Thank you, Wilbur Investigations. Thank you, MN3 Technologies. Don't forget, Wager Makers on Thrive Fantasy is the promo code to get some matching points on that. Don't forget to hit us up, sportswatchmonitor.com. You can buy all our picks every day. Hit us up, wagermakers@gmail.com is our email address. Facebook, The Wager Makers Podcast. Twitter at The Wager Makers. Instagram at The Wager Makers. Anywhere you can see podcast. And now Devin's going to tell you about YouTube right now.
Hey guys, it's Devin. Make sure you subscribe to the Wager Makers podcast on YouTube, like all their videos, and click that bell so that you turn on your post notifications and you never miss another video.
Thank you, Devin. And thank you all for listening. Don't forget, next week we're going to have a big show with our brackets, and you can help everybody fill out their bracket. Thanks for listening. Tell some friends. Webb, take us out.
Brick by brick, baby. Tell everybody it's a big week coming up. NCAA tournament, best time of the year. Great days. Thursday, Friday. It's awesome. Games start off at noon to 11:30 all day, all night. Thank everybody for listening. Spotify and YouTube would be great, but we'll take whatever we can get. Please tell a friend. And big bracket tournament coming up. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Welcome to the Wager Makers Podcast with Webb and Smitt.
Yeah. Hey, shout out Wager Maker Podcast.
Brick by brick, baby.
Yeah.
Here comes the Wager Maker
Here I go.
Express.
I hear y'all sick of losing money cause y'all don't know how to bet. Better hit that Wager Maker Podcast with Smitt and Webb. They gon' show y'all how to do this. Take these notes like y'all some students. Y'all can't seem to pick them right? Well, tonight y'all lucky night. It's that Wager Maker Podcast. Wager Maker Podcast. Wager Maker Podcast. Your bookie getting sick cause we built this brick by brick. It's that Wager Maker Podcast. It's that Wager Maker Podcast. It's that Wager Maker Podcast. Come and place your bets with that WM Express. Let's go.